Good evening. I'd like to open the Dudley, Town of Dudley Planning Board meeting for May 13th, 2015. Sorry for the delay. We had a little meeting with our town council prior to this meeting. First item on our agenda, actually it's not on our agenda, but I think we're going to put it on the minutes.
They're down here because I wanted to save him time.
You wanted to save them? Oh, okay. All right, so we're done with item A. We'll go to item B. Item B is a vote on solar farm major site plan review and special permit, Seaboard Solar Mass Project Management LLC, Series 25, Chartier property on or around 72 West Dudley Road. This was a previously approved project. It was resubmitted due to an abutter notification deficiencies. Public hearing was open on 4/22/2015 and closed the same evening. So tonight our duty would be to vote on the two, on the special permit and on the site plan review. And I see our engineer is here, or the engineer is here. You want to come up?
Good evening. Mike Loyne from Burton Engineering Associates, representing the project in Ray Chartier, 72
West Dudley Road.
Okay. Just to refresh my memory, this plan that you had showed us last time, there's been no changes to this, correct? From what we saw at the public hearing. And
no, I understand the process. Public hearing closed.
Right.
New information.
But on that plan, there was a issue about a culvert in the street. Was that on that plan, or were you going to add it to the plan?
Oh, from the last time?
Yeah.
This had the catch basin, the new catch basin.
Yep.
Is on this set of plans.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you said from last meeting.
Yep.
But from the last approval, the only thing that changed was the condition that you originally put for the catch basin at the bottom of the driveway. Or the second catch basin, which went to grades for review.
And it's been approved. Okay.
Your letter is in your binder.
Okay. And then the other thing that we had to deal with at the last public hearing was one of the abutters was asking for some tree screening on the right-hand side of the driveway going up to the project. And I believe that the developer was agreeable to that.
Yes, and that's included as condition number 8 on the back of the first page.
Okay. All right. So, we'll do the special permit vote first.
Do we have a, because we're reopening it, do we have a public hearing?
We already had it.
But it's reopened.
We had it at the last meeting.
Oh, I assume that this would be reopened because we're revoting again.
No, you got to close the public hearing before you can vote.
And we're not reopening it.
No, we closed it. You can't reopen it without advertising it.
Okay. I have one question. What is the setback to the Lions property from the array to the Alliance property?
I don't think it's new information. From the Ray to Mr. Lyons' property. That camp over here is roughly 160 feet. Over here is about 95 feet.
Okay. I'll pull the board. What would you rather vote on first? Do you want to do the site plan review first, or do you want to do the special permit first?
I'd like to do the special permit first, personally.
Yeah, I would too, please.
what were the conditions for the setbacks? Is it allow the 90 feet in the setback?
There's no conditions for the special permit. That's what we just discussed.
No, I meant for the site plan review,
For site plan review, our setbacks are 50 feet.
only 50?
That's what our bylaw says.
Okay.
Just a point of order, just to make sure everything, I think Mark, just to state that he's reviewed for the Mullen Amendment.
Sure, it's good. I had planned to do it before the vote, but I was present on February 11th for the original vote. I was not here on the 22nd. I had flown into Boston, and I got home about 7:30, 7:40. I saw the tail end of the meeting, but I have reviewed the entire meeting online, and I plan to vote this evening.
Mr. Chairman, is that a residential 87 area district? Do you know?
Yeah, that is in the Res 87.
So it's the 25-yard setback, 25 feet, I'm sorry.
You're looking at buildings.
Oh,
You gotta look at the solar bylaw.
oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So-
no,
I'll be
it's 50.
quiet.
Yeah.
It's 50.
Okay. So the special permit. All right. So we're basically looking for a motion on the special permit for the approval. Vote on solar, special permit Seaboard Solar Mass Projects LLC, Series 25, Charter Property on or around 72 West Dudley Road.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the special permit for the large-scale solar in a residential area for the solar installation to be located at or near 72 West Dudley Road by Solar MA Project Management Series 25 per Town of Dudley zoning bylaw 3.1205.
I'll second that.
Do we have a motion? And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, that's unanimous vote. That vote is on the special permit, a supermajority vote, so it passes unanimously. Next, we would be looking for a site plan review motion.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the following waivers for the, we have to do the waivers for this, or is that all part of the?
That's for you guys to determine whether the items on the checklist marked NA require waivers or not. If the board determines they do need waivers, then you're going to make a motion to approve the waivers.
Last time, we voted them as a block because they were not, these waivers were not applicable to a solar installation on a site, with a site plan review.
And the only added one was number 8.
No, those are
No.
the conditions.
Yeah. This is
All the waivers, I'm sorry.
So the waivers are things such as, do you need a traffic study? Yeah, we're not imposing any more traffic with the solar array, so it's not an applicable item to have on this particular site plan.
So I don't recall whether we agreed to just go by it, or?
We read them all, and we voted them as a block.
Okay,
We read all the waivers and voted them as a block last time.
okay. So, as I was saying, I move to grant the following waivers for the large-scale solar installation to be located at 72 West Dudley Road, Dudley Assessors Map 220, Lot 88, 89, 96, and 96.1, Worcester District Registry of Deeds, Deed Book 40679, Page 1, Book 35785, Page 23, and Book 88785, Page 23. And I'd like to read each of the waivers in one block so that we can have a vote on all 8 waivers. 8 waivers. Checklist item L 5.04.4A 12, a waiver to allow the emission of a traffic report since after initial construction there will be minimal traffic generated. 2, checklist item M 5.04.04A 13, a waiver to allow emissions of showing proposed streets since there are no streets proposed. 3, checklist item N 5.04.04A 14, a waiver to allow omission of showing a plan of off-street parking since there is ample off-street parking for construction and post-construction. 4, checklist item O 5.04.04A 15, a waiver to allow omission of showing location of all public utilities since there will be no public utilities. 5, checklist item P 5.04.04A 16, a waiver to allow omission of existing and proposed landscaping since existing growth is shown on the plan. 6, checklist item Q 5.04.04A 17, a waiver to allow omission of a site lighting plan since there will be no site lighting other than emergency lighting. 7, checklist item S 5.04.04A 19, a waiver to allow omission of showing solid waste disposal facilities since there will be no solid waste generated. 8, checklist item T 5.04.04A 20, a waiver to allow omission of showing snow storage since there is ample snow storage for the roads surrounding the arrays. And I so move.
Okay, we have,
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that motion.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of granting the waivers?
Aye.
Unanimous, 5-0. And next, we would be looking for an approval of solar site plan review.
And finally, Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the approval of the site plan review for the large-scale solar installation to be located at or near 72 West Dudley Road, Dudley Assessors Map 220, lots 88, 89, 96, and 96.1, Worcester District Registry of Deeds, Deed Book 40679, page 1, Book 35785, page 23, and Book 88785, page 23, with the following conditions. A commitment per the Dudley Fire Department to provide training to emergency responders, a Knox box on all gates with keys to be provided to the fire and police departments, signage and a shut-off plan on site and at Dudley's Fire Station. And 2, parking, loading, or unloading on West Dudley Road is prohibited. And 3, a track pad shall be placed on West Dudley Road and or other roads as necessary at each access point during construction of the project so soil is not carried into the road from the project site. And the track pad and any associated soil or debris shall be cleaned at the end of every workday. And number 4, project construction hours shall begin no earlier than 7 a.m. and no later than 7 p.m. on weekdays. There shall be no work on federal holidays. And number 5, the planning office shall receive copies from the applicant of documents submitted to and approved by the Dudley Conservation Commission, especially those showing snow storage. And number 6, the planning office and the Board of Selectmen shall receive copies of the decommissioning plan prior to notice of decision being filed with the town of the Dudley Town Clerk. And number 7, the applicant and or future owners are responsible for adequate maintenance throughout the life of the project of the site access driveway and the road around the perimeter of the site, including but not limited to snow removal, stabilization of erosion, and other maintenance to allow for emergency vehicle access and site amenities, including but not limited to security fencing, signage, stormwater system, and solar arrays. Finally, the 8th condition will be additional tree screening to be added for the abutter last name Jervis. And I so move.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion to grant approval for the site plan.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 5-0 unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lang.
Mr. Loin, 1 second, please. Actually, there was some new information that came to light. Because the public hearing had been closed, I couldn't share it. But the developer, the owner, the landowner is granting some open space during the life of the project to the town. And in 20 years after the project is decommissioned, the majority of the site will be given to the town of Dudley as open space. And because that costs money to change the deeds and so forth, there will be a cash gift also. So I think it's great for the town of Dudley. I think it adds to the emerald necklace of open space.
And I think right now, just a quick review, the north side of the site and see the large untouched sections of the north and the south side of the site with a connection between the two from Durfee Street would be a section that would be immediately donated to the town as for conservation purposes. It's the areas outside of our limits, and then the areas within the site, what the developers have decided after the 25-year lifespan of the project that once the decommissioning, the panels would come off the site, that land would also be donated to the town, the remaining land.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next item on our agenda would be item C, public hearing to receive input on the town meeting warrant articles, number 25. Let's see. Nancy, was this the only article that we were given by the Board of Selectmen? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, do you want me to continue to attend the meeting?
I think we're all set.
I think we're done.
Everybody agree?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Well, welcome, and good luck with everything.
Have a good night.
If there are any developments on this litigation, I will certainly keep you apprised.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, we'll open a public hearing at 7:38. The Dudley Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, May 13th at 7:38 in room 321 of the Dudley Municipal Complex to review 5/18/2015 town meeting article zoning change article for West Main Street Overlay District. Complete text may be seen on the Town of Dudley website, www.dudleyma.gov, by visiting or contacting the planning office, the town clerk, or the Board of Selectmen during regular working hours. They are also available for view in the lobby of the Dudley Police Station 24/7. Guy E. Horn, Jr., Chairman, Dudley Planning Board. So I will read Article number 25. To see if the town will vote to amend the Dudley zoning bylaw and the Dudley zoning map to overlay the zoning on West Main Street to Business 15 on the east side from Village Street to Patterson Avenue, and on the west side from Patterson Avenue to Indian Road, or take any action relative hereto. So, I think everybody understands what this was for. Right now, a lot of that, I believe, a lot of that land is zoned industrial,
Light industrial.
light industrial. Okay. So by adding the overlay district, it would give the landowner basically the option to either use the conditions laid out in the zoning bylaw for business 15 or for the light industrial. And the reason that we're doing this is so that the businesses that are there become more compliant with zoning, and the businesses that are there under light industrial do not become incompliant with the zoning. So,
So are we looking for a motion, Mr. Chairman, to support this?
I think we would. Well, actually, we can't vote until we close the public hearing, and we have to ask the
Yeah.
public if they would like to have any input on this.
Ultimately.
Yeah. Is there any public input on this article that's coming up for town meeting? Everybody seems okay. Anybody else on the board want to speak about it?
Nope, I think it's actually a good idea.
I just think it reflects the current use anyway.
Okay.
I'd like to say something. First of all, I still think we ought to wait for CMRPC, but I report to you guys, and if that's what you want to do, that's fine. What's missing is how far in along West Main Street you want the overlay, how big do you want the overlay zone to be?
Okay, so we could ask the moderator to amend that on the floor, because it's
Correct.
usually at a depth of 500 feet from the center of the road.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right,
say,
but it doesn't say that.
I was gonna say, just as when we were agreeing upon it before,
Yeah.
putting it in, just going from Conant Ave directly down.
Yeah, but we have to put a depth.
No, I understand that, but at least that'll give you the depth. Because Conant Ave is completely business 15.
Right, but if you look at the zoning map, all the areas around that are zoned to a depth of 500 feet. I think we want to continue it all at 500 feet. Don't give any markings such as streets. The streets denote the length of the zone. The 500 feet depth
Okay.
denotes the depth.
Okay.
So that's typically how we do the zoning. So, but that's a simple amendment for the moderator. We'll just let him know before he reads it and asks to have that added. So it's not uncommon for zoning articles to have amendments on the floor.
Through the chair, so is the plan, are you satisfied with that? Will that work, or?
That'll work for this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Nancy. We've already committed to CMRPC and their village district, so I think we just let them go about doing what they're doing, and when they come back with their recommendation for a village district, if it's a great thing and it works for all the cases that we currently have, and it even makes it better, there's no reason we couldn't change it all to village district if village district works out to be the best thing for the town. So it would just mean another change later on, so I don't think it'll really hurt us. Okay, if there's nothing else from the board, I'll close the public hearing. Okay, we'll close the public hearing at 7:43. And we can vote on this now if you want to, or we can vote on it before the town meeting, whatever's up to you. I mean, we may not have a full board at the town meeting, so if you just wanna vote on it now, we can vote on it now to endorse this.
That's fine.
All right, if somebody wants to make a motion to endorse Article number 25 on the town meeting warrant?
I make a motion that we accept Article 25 as written.
No, we have to amend it.
Amend it?
Yeah, we have to add the 500 feet.
Oh, okay,
And approve it, or support it.
okay.
We're just voting our support for this right now.
The support to amend it?
No, the support of the article, and we'll amend it on the floor.
I don't know how to say it.
Okay. We're looking for a motion to support Article 25 to be amended on the floor at town meeting to include the 500-foot depth.
Okay.
All right? Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0, unanimous. Okay, our next item on our agenda for this evening. Okay, now we're at minutes. Item D, accepting and approval of minutes from 3/11/2015. We got these kind of late today, but we got them, so it's a good thing. Has anybody had a chance to review them?
I have.
Yep.
Would somebody like to make a motion to accept the minutes from, this was what, 3/11/15?
Sure. Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes as written from the Wednesday, March 11th, 2015 meeting.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
5-0, unanimous on that vote. Okay, our next item on the agenda would be item E, planner's plate,
If I might, Mr. Chairman?
please.
I've been really busy. We have 3 MassDOT projects in town. One was supposed to start Monday, and although I've had workers up in my office looking for documentation and so forth, I haven't seen them start digging yet, but West Main Street is going to be redone, resurfaced with some other improvements made. They'll be doing the work mostly from 7 at night to 5 in the morning. So, yeah, so if you're looking for a quick way through town at those times, you're gonna have to go with the not-so-quick way and go around the work. It will, let's see, it's starting down at William Street, and it will, by the end of the summer, have moved up to the Connecticut state line. So, get ready. The second project is Center Road. The contract has been let, and they're waiting for the ink to dry on some of the state signatures, and then they'll be starting, and I can't recall the name of the company that receives the contract. It's something like Consalvus or something. And last but not least, I have a meeting next week up on Dresser Hill. There have been some accidents that resulted in fatalities on Dresser Hill, and so the state is looking at some safety improvements along Dresser Hill. So that's not as time-consuming as the resurfacing, and we have our initial meeting, as I said, next week. So I don't know what to expect yet, but Highway Superintendent Dan Guyon will be there as well. So summer construction, a lot to look forward to. The next item was open space and solar, and it was just to kind of announce, if it hadn't been announced, the donation of the open space in West Dudley. Let's see, the Regional Economic Development Organization has been funded for the next year, and we're not sure how long that will last, and it still needs to be voted on by the Senate. I believe it was passed by the House. Does this sound right? But we are, once again, we are offering training to soon-to-be high school graduates for getting them prepared for today's work environment. And they're saying is it's not your grandfather's factory anymore, and it's basically to get them the computer skills and so forth that they need. I don't know why PB meeting 518.
That's the town meeting.
Oh, do we still need the planning board meeting prior to town meeting?
No, I think we can just
No?
attend the town meeting and make our recommendations to the moderator.
Right, since you voted on it tonight. Okay, the second meeting in May is the 27th. And I know I'm out of the office for around Memorial Day. We don't have anything huge in the works, so I wondered, and we've had extra meetings, so it's up to you guys if you want a meeting, 5/27. I'll be in Pennsylvania for the week prior to that, up until the 27th.
I won't be here.
You won't be here?
Yeah, so why don't we cancel that meeting?
Okay, thank you. Okay, any of you that live near Blue Heron Drive, maybe you've seen them working on the rail trail back there. You know, you can basically walk or ride your bike or ride your horse from Southbridge all the way through Dudley, all the way to the Connecticut state line. That part is done and is beautiful. And this weather is the perfect weather to get out there and enjoy it. Mr. Butkevich, who never seems to have any flag in his energy, is now supervising the section of the rail trail that connects the French River Trail with the Quinnebog-Shetucket Rail Trail. And through a grant, he pays Dudley highway workers on Saturdays to do things like pull up the rails and that kind of stuff. So just in case anyone wonders why there are men back in the woods pulling up the rails and the ties, it is because it's all sanctioned work sanctioned by the town, and they'll have a wonderful rail trail. Saturday the 16th is the rabies clinic. It's held downstairs. It costs only $10 to have your pet vaccinated against rabies. The hours are on the front board outside, and it's a really good deal. If your pet is vicious, please muzzle them, and please cage your cat. And that's it.
Okay.
So question, in Southbridge, where, I know where the rail trail is in Southbridge, so if you started there and walked towards Dudley, where do you come out?
At the west, at the paper mill dam.
Paper Mill Dam.
It goes all the way to Mill Road.
And then you would cross, and then you would cross.
Right down the street from the West Dudley solar panel, down the hill.
And then you would, okay, you know where the old Quinnebog Fire Station was, near Four Corners Restaurant?
Yep.
That's where you would cross the state line into Connecticut.
Okay.
And then you can continue down to Thompson.
And you cross right over where that old building is, where the old fire.
The little
house
pond
building
is right there.
Yeah, the white
Yeah.
building.
Yeah?
And then you just keep going, and that'll bring you to the Connecticut line.
No, you're already in, you're in Connecticut
Right,
by
right,
then.
right. Okay, so.
And then you can go all the way down
There
into
it goes.
Thompson.
Then from there it goes down, follows across down to, all the way to
Road.
Thompson Road that way. They're working on that, so.
So how long would it take to go from there to Southbridge and back? Well,
It would take me 3 or 4 days because I'm
On
not
White
good
Quad,
at
it's
this.
pretty quick.
No, but to walk it, you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would imagine.
That's my horse.
Well, how many miles is it?
From like Big Y, that bridge,
Yeah.
to Mill Road is 2 miles.
Thank you.
So back and forth
That's all I
is
was
4
looking
miles.
20 minutes.
All right, good,
It's
good.
It's lovely.
2 miles, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had that as our Walktober a couple years ago, but it was only done to Paper Mill Dam. So we weren't able to go up to Southbridge back then. Now we can.
Okay, so we'll
thank
go
you.
to item F, comments from the planning board. Do you have any comments?
I don't.
Actually, I do. We brought it up the last meeting, but it was pushed again. On the meeting from the Estabrook Solar Farm,
The March 30th meeting.
March 30th, where Nancy didn't show up. As the board, we asked her to show up. I recommend some sort of warning, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I've briefly talked to town administrator to find out how we would go about doing this. I just need to get a phone call into him and get the specifics.
Okay, thank you.
That's my intent.
If I might say something, in 10 years, I've missed one meeting. In 10 years, I was sick.
I think it was just that
I
there was
understand that,
no
but
notification. I
there
mean,
was
if
no
you had- If
notification.
you had called, it probably wouldn't have been a big
If
deal.
we did that on a private end, we'd be fired if we found out a week later that we didn't show up. I'm
But there
I'm
have
not
been
trying to,
plenty of meetings that-
I'm not trying to badger you, I'm not trying to be mean to you or whatever, I'm just following recommendations from when we tried to go with personnel on changing your job description, and they brought up, go on a warning system, go on this, just different systems, that's what I'm going with, so.
Anybody else have
You
anything?
asked for it to be in public meeting, I put it in public meeting.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else?
There was an article in Telegram and Gazette, voters put freeze on solar farms. The town of Lancaster put a moratorium to study the aspects. The planning board chairman explained to residents that building solar arrays in residential areas raises complex planning and legal issues, and said that the board felt that a year to study and create a bylaw was needed. The town meeting needed more than 2/3 votes. 80 residents voted yes to the moratorium, 18 no. The vote prohibits issuance of building or occupancy permit for large-scale solar arrays in residential areas. It does not prohibit construction of home-use solar panels. And they said we need to trust the committees and boards to come up with a comprehensive bylaw to protect both owners and abutters. And Shrewsbury just issued a moratorium as well.
Both of which towns, I believe, are not green communities.
Well,
We couldn't issue a moratorium after becoming a green community.
I'm just different towns keep adding to the list that there are contentions between the towns and the solar array situation, and it keeps cropping up.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a recommendation. So, Marcia, you have brought this up a number of times, and I think it's great that you have an opinion and a feeling about what the bylaw should be for other towns and certainly our town. You have every right to draft a bylaw that aligns or realigns our bylaw, our current solar bylaw, to be brought up as a warrant article for the town to approve. Not sure whether it would pass this board because of what the chairman just brought up. I mean, we have tried for how long to become a green community? And part of the green community was our willingness and ability to allow solar arrays.
Does it stipulate it has to be in residential areas?
I don't know what the details are, but I'm sure that there are some restrictions and details. But that's certainly, to be researched. So this isn't a challenge. This is, I think you're passionate about it, and I think that you have some great ideas about what it should be, and you have some feeling about what it should be. You have every right to go forward and do that research and understand what it is and sell that program.
Yeah, I would like to propose, I understand this wouldn't happen until next town meeting, that maybe we can comprise a committee so all sides are covered. That's all I have.
Sure, okay.
The other night, you had mentioned that
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
these solar arrays drop the value of a home. Was that from a study that you had seen, or was that your opinion?
No, I've seen, I know some owners whose property value has been assessed lower because of solar arrays.
As a direct impact from the solar?
From the solar, actually, this is from property owner with solar array in their view.
Anything else?
Mr. Chair, may I ask one question? Going back to the green communities, I understand probably why, but could you give me an explanation why we had to push for a green community?
Because of the monies and incentives that were there for the town to get energy-saving systems paid for free.
Okay.
I mean,
Was there any research done, what came with that money, what came attached with those grants and monies? I mean, to what you had to do,
the
is what I'm
criteria
saying.
was specified, we all agreed to it. It went to town meeting, the town meeting voted for it. It wasn't the people on this board, the people on this board brought it up, instructed the planner to work towards it. It was I believe, a better part of a 5-year project. Very time-consuming, and a lot of things had to get done to get there, and we finally achieved it, and we got $169,000 in monies from the state to improve energy efficiency in municipal buildings.
So from that $169,000 that we got for a grant, is that it, or do we get?
No, we can,
more?
after we spend that money, we can continue to get money as we apply for it. We have to have a project that fits their criteria, though. I mean, we can't have a project that has a payback of 50 years. They won't take it. But if you have a project that has a payback of, I believe it's up to 10 years or less, they'll pay for it. I mean, we were looking at putting solar panels on the highway barn, or getting a waste oil heater for the highway barn, because people go to the municipal center, the transfer station, and drop off their waste oil. So there's a free supply of heat for the highway barn in the wintertime. All the noise that we're currently hearing here right now on all the HVAC systems in this building, there's like 38 of them or something like that are going to get replaced with high efficiency ones. Hopefully we won't have the squeaking noise anymore in this room. Things like that. You know, that's what it was for. Town of Auburn put all their money the first year they got it into their new high school, and they were saving like 40, when I talked to the gentleman in Auburn, he was saying they were saving like 40% on their energy costs with all the improvements that they got for free. On a high school, that's a lot of money.
Now, was the library part of that?
The library is LEED certified. It's one of the greenest buildings in the state of Massachusetts. There's not much more we can do with that. This building was not LEED certified. It was built prior to that.
Right. Thank you.
And the other important thing to note is those 5 years, there have been X number of meetings where we talked about the green community and as it shaped. And there's all these seats that people can sit in and make comment and say, I like that, I don't like that.
I'm in agreement to that.
And then in town meeting, they ultimately vote. We vote on nothing. We don't have the ability to, we don't want the ability to vote something like that in. We just bring it forth as a board to say, hey, this might be great for the town. And the question.
And I understand,
Okay.
unfortunately, most of the time, the residents of town do not show up, and where they should, because it affects their tax dollars, so.
Here they are.
But I think there's a big lack in the communication between the town meetings and the residents.
Okay, so our next item agenda is comments from the audience. So would you please come up, sign your name,
Sign in, please.
because I'm sure you didn't sit here all this time for nothing.
Excuse me.
The only thing I really think, in the 11 years I've lived in this town, I just think there's a really bad lack of communication between what actually goes on in this town to the town residents.
So
I
let's-
don't think there's enough notification on anything that goes on.
Well, that's why we have cable TV, and that's why this meeting's being televised, so you can watch it
Right,
at
but
home.
a lot of people maybe don't have time to watch TV.
How else would you
Tend to
find
work.
out?
It's replayed.
Yeah, I tend to work a lot, and when I'm home, I sleep, to be
Okay.
honest.
They're also available 24/7 on your computer.
And you know what? God bless computers, but not everybody in this town can actually afford it.
So how can we communicate better with you?
I think the signs in town should be more updated and maybe be notified more times than having dog license out there for 2 months.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I dog license my dog every year. I don't even use the clinic that costs us $10. I pay for my vet to do my dog. We send out letters, so why should that sign be used for 2 months? That 2 months that the sign's being used should be held for meetings and more information.
Unfortunately, we don't control that. You can express that to the selectmen who control that sign.
But it's a good point. If you feel as though that will help us communicate, or the town communicate better with you, certainly you're
I mean,
right
not
to.
everybody, I think, in this town has a computer.
Yeah, true.
That's
I'm in agreement with you, sir. I mean, the sign out here is gonna be needing replacement pretty soon.
I honestly think, and I wouldn't have a problem with voting it in, for that sign to go to a digital sign like Marty's and be
Right,
more active.
Something simple that you can control from,
Yeah,
We have a digital sign. It's currently right in front of the fire station tonight.
but they just changed that
Says
tonight
town
about
meeting.
a meeting.
Town meeting,
Right, just tonight. I mean, that sign's not on every day. I drive by it.
right. No,
but no, something like in the front. I've seen other towns with them, and
Yeah.
they'll have a scrolling message, whatever. I think that's a good
I think
idea,
that's-
down the road, you know?
Would be more efficient to let people know what's going on.
Agreed.
I'm in agreement
And
with you.
maybe more people would show up at meetings. Because I know I've been lately, since I know on what's going on in the town, I show up more now at meetings.
it's good.
We thank you for that, too.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to talk?
I'm just saying, Al. Paul Lyons. 15 Fish Road. I just would like a clarification, please.
Okay. Can I ask a
Earlier,
question?
you said construction for the West Dudley Road solar farm, 7 to 7. Was that strictly weekdays, or does that include they're allowed to work Saturday and Sunday?
No, just weekdays.
Just weekdays?
Just weekdays.
From 7 to 7?
Yep.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your
No
time.
problem. Anybody else like to speak? No? Okay. Anybody want to make a motion for adjournment?
I think we stay here for a while longer.
Motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn?
Second.
And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous?